Disclaimer. Hello everyone! We've got some pretty crazy news updates for the Beyblade crossover project. This is essentially where Takara Tomy gets pays from the past generation and remakes those Beyblades in the new Beyblade X system. However, before we continue with this video, mallofbays.com. We have Beyblade X products, we have the unicorn stuff, which you're going to be getting this week and also shipping out this week, and eventually my review. And as well, we have other Beyblade Burst products. This is an optional way to support the channel, and I truly do appreciate any support regardless. It does keep the channel alive, so I appreciate it. Now, with that being said, let's kind of talk about, the big womp womp. Basically, the TRYPIO remake is canceled. Now, I kind of did expect this. Now, to give you some backstory on TRYPIO, while the attack ring, if you see Plastics DB, there is like a way to have like an optimal combo for it, obviously. So even if I say, what I'm about to say, have some understanding, but TRYPIO, it just kind of has this kind of meme appeal in Japan because, there's like content creators do like this crazy stuff trying to like modify every possible way for TRYPIO. And, it's kind of like a meme, like if it was kind of like a shit post of a remake. It's not really like, I feel like it had that much appeal other than, oh, that'd be funny if it won. Basically what happens is that now when you see the actual remake next to the original one, they had it pretty faithful to the original size. Now, already you have issues with this because of the fact that if you keep it the original size, the original shape, for starters, one, I'm very certain that the attack ring, if they did the X remake, would have been plastic for the outer part, which breakages issues could have been pretty much possible. But either way, it would be very, very hard to KO it, and it would be very hard to even get an extreme finish on it. So already this bay is working against the stadium because you can't actually follow the rules properly. Like by design, it is not possible for TRYPIO in its original size to exist. Now, the reason that they give for basically this process is that you now see a heavily modified design of TRYPIO, where in this one, it's a lot more smaller for the actual outer perimeter of it. Basically, what they say too with this, the issue that they had is like this idea that, well, the issue is that if younger players are going to be playing with this Beyblade, it's going to get caught on the hands when they launch, which I could maybe understand, but even then, I'm not too sure how valid that is to say. Like, I'm even trying to think, like, I could understand if TRYPIO is maybe the shape of, like, Guilty Longinus, but something that smooth for how it's supposed to look, I highly doubt it's going to, like, be that game, but you don't know what's, like, whatever. And essentially what it comes down to, it's like this idea, well, we don't believe that this is really being faithful to what the original idea was, so that's why we're gonna can it. And I guess I can understand, although faithful is only in terms of the fact that they heavily modified the stuff, because we're talking about actually faithful, not really like most of the remakes are really truly faithful, like for most of the parts, like it's really just the top part for like all the Burst remakes, not really like any of the bottom section for like the drivers that are like, for some of them, that accurate, but whatever. I always think, for an example, and it's not even in the same scale, like Hell Kerbex, how they fused the boost disc onto it and they didn't really just make a separate frame for it. Even then, that's like, okay, that's not really like too faithful in that regard, but I guess for TRYPIO, it is like a big departure from how much they usually modify it, so I guess I can understand. Me personally, what I also think, I think the issue is that this bay has no appeal. Like, in terms of actual sales. Like, yeah, the bay is kind of a joke, the bay is kind of funny, there's this kind of meme culture in Japan, it's like they ship post-bay, there's like talented creators that like do all these modifications with TRYPIO, whatever, and it's built like this cult around it, but, in terms of actual sales, I don't think that translates well. To me, this is kind of like, how like when people are kind of like shitposting about the Morbius film, but when Sony tried to capitalize on it, nobody actually... That's what I feel like the TRYPIO thing is kind of... Now listen, it would have been funny to see it, but I can completely understand them just scrapping it. Now we do get, a nice little tidbit at the end. Actually, confirmation at least for the next one's going to be coming up. Metal Fight. We're obviously going to be getting remakes for all 3 of the generations. We're going to be getting info in specific for an upcoming one for the future, which, bum bum bum, it is a silhouette. This is Storm Pegasus. It is Storm Pegasus. I am perfectly understanding that they did not do El Draco to start us off. We don't even have a left yet, so fine. But Storm Pegasus, I'm pretty hyped to see if that's going to be the first one. I don't know when it'll come out. We're just going to get the info on March 21st, which is actually Beyblade Day, you know, because 3, 2, 1. So I want to see what they do for Pegasus. And listen, the only way to go here is up, because Storm Pegasus is shit for the original metal fight. Like, the original Storm Pegasus, the only good thing that came out of it, like what? 105, whatever. Like the rubber flat tip. Like the Storm Wheel is garbage. Pegasus Clear Wheel. So honestly, for the X remake, even if the shape is more or less like the only way to go is up from here on out. I do want to throw in my predictions for the parts for Storm Pegasus until we actually get this revealed. I'm going to go with, I would say 360, but they might troll and they might do like a 460, maybe Red Rush. I don't know, you can let me know your predictions. You will probably also see concept art done by the talented ROYALKAIJU either before or right about now, but this is, it's pretty close to probably what they would actually do for it. You know, more or less. I might modify it just to kind of get that face pulled shape, I'm pretty sure, but aside from that, it's to be expected. Now, the one thing I want to see, that little silver lining, is that they do say, even though TRYPIO did fail the development, they do mention the fact that this will be an influence for the future, how they develop the bays. And I think eventually when X is going to evolve, how they do certain stuff, there's at least some positives to this. So even though if people really wanted the TRYPIO and are kind of upset, you know, there's at least some stuff that we can look forward to. I mean, either way, the next one coming up, by the way, is going to be Trigger S for the Bakutin remakes. It's pretty much done. It does look more or less similar to Drawn's RS. I'm not going too crazy on it, but I am excited to at least get another point. I will still assume that this Trigger S should maybe be releasing whenever our next BXG is, so I'll probably put up some picture there. But yeah, aside from that, that's kind of it for my thoughts for this video. We got Trigger S news, we'll eventually get Pegasus news. Hopefully the release date's not too far away. Maybe Pegasus would get released sometime in June, maybe. Or later, we don't know. And TRYPIO, you know, whatever, sucks to suck, but at least it'll help for the future. So that's pretty much it for this video. Thank you for watching. Have a wonderful day, and bye.